to start talking to you about this concept of talent times investment equals strength. What does that mean? And I'm reminded of I've got a little 6-year-old boy, and the other day he came running out of the bathroom and said to me, Mum, Pa can be a plumber when he grows up. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, because he just fixed the bathroom, just fixed the toilet. And when I look at Pa's a 75-year-old engineer, okay? He's not changing, right? But you know what made me think of when I think of this talent? It's like seeing things through the eyes of a child, that continuous ability to have that growth mindset about what we do and what we yearn for and how we do that and how that grows within us from a young age until death, essentially. And when we talk about this concept, we start with talent. Yeah, and we know that talent is a natural way for us to think, feel, or behave. Yeah? But it's like Will Rogers, the author, said, you can be on the right track, but if you just sit there, you'll get run over. Right? So what do? We can have this talent, but if we sit there and do nothing with it, it's just a waste of talent. So it's so important that we need to invest in our talents. We need to spend some time understanding who we are, using it, naming it, aiming it, claiming it, and making it part of who we are moving forward. And that's the only way we can create a strength from our talent. Remember, we start with a talent and we finish with a strength. All right, so firstly, study your successes. If you just to take a moment and just think about a time where you have felt amazingly successful, or whatever that means to you, yeah, where you've just hit it out of the park, where you feel like, that was just a bomb and I want to do it again and again, yeah? And think for a moment, what was happening for you at that time? Okay. Has anyone got one that comes to mind? Yes. And I'm sure all of you had that same image of something where you felt that success in that moment. The other thing we're going to look at is, now that we know when we've been successful and when we can flex that talent, where are some ways that we can actually apply them even more than we do now? So as you think about your own top 5, can you think of any situations where you see that talent and you think, what do I need to do to be able to bring that into play even more? And when we look at the applying your talents, it's not just looking at it from the talent domain point of view. If you've got a relationship talent, for example, how do you use that to influence people? How do you use that to think about things differently? How do you use that to execute, to get things done? Then what we want to look at is acquiring new skills and knowledge. Okay, so we're all here today, and what are we doing?
Learning.
We're acquiring new skills and knowledge. Yeah. Why are we here acquiring new skills and knowledge? So that
We can be good at what we do.
we can flex. Thank you. So we can flex our talent muscles, what we're doing, and we can make it better for us out there using our talents.
Investing in our talent.
Yes, investing into our talent. Okay. Then we have to focus on building your Clifton strengths. So we know that, we once we understand our talents and then we invest in our talents and they become strengths. So how do we invest in those? How do we spend time experimenting on each of those to get better at it? Any ideas?
Well, you could look at your resource guide that has a lot of action items in it.
Thank you.
On how to leverage your specific talents.
Fantastic. And your number 1 is the activator, is that right? See, there you go. There it is right there. The activator. I asked a question and then she says, you can look at your resource guide immediately and activate me into what I can do differently. Thank you for that. And finally, one of the things, don't keep it secret. Share your Clifton talents, your Clifton strengths. There is no bad here. This is all about focusing on what we do well and how do we do more of that. Because that way you can create great partnerships, you can create great workplaces, great teams by understanding each other's talents and what they bring to the table as well. So in saying all that, what can we do when we leave here today? Not that. Okay. On the bottom of page 26 there's a little area that says try this. Okay? And it just talks there about, put my glasses on, thinking about the Clifton Strengths theme for a day, how you can use that theme for day. It talks about how you can flex your theme muscles. And, you know, and I do know when you don't exercise your muscles regularly, they do kind of, you know, go a bit weak. So we want to make sure that we're doing that. And focusing on once you've got one, focus on the other and another. So how prepared are you to do that when you leave here today? Who's committed to taking one of their talents and flexing it? One of you. Fantastic. 2 of you. 3, 4, 5.
Can I have
Okay. Can I have 5? There's 8 people in the room. I want everybody to walk out of the room today and know that there is one talent they're going to flex. What's yours, Lindsay?
Activator.
Okay, what's yours?
Activator.
What's yours?
Learner.
Learner. Bruno.
Activator.
Activator.
Responsibility.
Responsibility.
Positivity.
Positivity.
Intellection.
Intellection.
Learner.
Learner. Now you said that in front of each other, so we've got a bit of a group agreement going here. All right. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I wish you all the best with your strengths journey.
Thank you.
Thank you.